Hey guys, with the buff of the Executor has come the resurgence of Gley, my favorite Descendant, so I wanted to do an all-around build guide for what is in my opinion the best all-around bossing Descendant. We will touch on 3 different builds today: our general Massacre build, a all-in one-clip Massacre build, and the infinite ammo gun focus build. Let's get right into our first Massacre build. This build works because of the Transcendent mod Massive Sanctification, which is giving us 3 life spheres for a percentage of our health. So when entering a Colossus arena, we're first using our Frenzied ability, which is trading a percentage of our HP for firearm attack, but this also affects how our other skills work. Next, we are using Massive Sanctification, which is going to provide us the 3 life spheres so we can enter our Massacre state, which is providing our unique weapon. Though we will only be provided with 3 shots, this is where increased sensory comes into play, which is giving us infinite ammo for, in my case, 9.3 seconds. This is all dependent on the mods and the reactor we're using. The key here is to have a lower cooldown than duration, so this can be used in an infinite loop or until you run out of HP. Now that we covered the basics of the build, let's go over the mods. First, Walk a Tightrope is a huge damage increase for Gley because of the HP decrease we are giving ourselves with the use of our abilities. So the key is to bring our HP to half for the 30% increase to firearm attack and the skill power modifier. We want to go even lower than that because if we look at the Massacre ability in the Frenzy state, we are gaining 10% skill power per 10% of HP consumed. Now in group play, I would suggest stopping at the half HP mark, but if you're going for fast solo hard Colossus kills, you want to leave yourself with 20% to 30%. You can tell when you've reached the 30% mark from the screen flashing red and heartbeat sound effect. Moving on, we have our 2 cooldown mods, MP Conversion and Nimble Fingers, our 2 duration mods, Maximize Duration and Skill Extension. Adding to those, Focus on Dimension and Focus on an Attribute are giving us more cooldown, but also providing skill power, and Battle of Stamina is giving us a little more duration while also providing us with some HP. With those, we are also slotting Iron Defense for more defense and more skill power. Increased HP is here for some quality of life. If you're a soloing Colossus, you really can take this off, but this helps the build be okay for some group play. Though I would suggest anything past Obstructor for public matchmaking, I would run the gun focus build we'll be covering later on in the video. For our reactor, we have Python Mounting, Non-Attribute Dimension, additional skill attack versus Colossus, and cooldown for our substats. We are using the Slayer set. Normally for most Descendants, we are looking for MP and shields on our substats, but Gley does not use MP or shields. So what I've chosen here is elemental resistances in each of our components. So for auxiliary power, HP and fire resist. For sensor, HP recovery modifier and chill resist. Memory, defense and electric resist. And the processor, display time for a scan and toxin resist. And now our weapon, the Python. No, you do not need to upgrade it. Its unique weapon ability does not work in the Massacre state. For the substats, firearm attack, bonus firearm attack versus Colossus, weak point damage, and electric attack, so we can have the defense debuff it provides. Into the mods, we're using Sharp Precision Shot, firearm attack mods, weak point sight and have aiming, fire rate up, and weak point aiming is just there for the 2% weak point damage. The key here is to have 2 slots uncatalyzed, so we can swap our elemental mods depending on the Colossus we are fighting. So we have electric in, and if we want to fight pyro, we can swap these out for chill. Like so. Now we are going to cover the all-in Massacre build. This build has the same basics of the build we just covered, but we will only be able to cast increased sensory once. So it's all or nothing. In the clips at the start of the video, this is how you see me take down Pyro and Executioner in 9 seconds. Looking at the mods, we have removed all cooldown mods and actually increased our cooldown time with the use of Maximize Power and Maximize Skill. As you can see, Increased Sensory has an 80-second cooldown. This is only for solo play. Do not take this into any public group content. It will not work out well for you. Other than that, the rest of the mods are the same. One added note for both of these builds, I just didn't feel like doing another catalyst. Non-attribute Syncytium could be added on both. This is going to give a slight increase into non-attribute skill damage. For our reactor, once again, Python Mounting, non-attribute dimension, additional skill attack versus Colossus, but no cooldown. For the second subset, duration would be Bis, but I'm stuck with this non-attribute skill power, so either will work. Slayer set once again, with the same subsets as before, but none of them really matter because this is an all or nothing build. Python is the same substats and the same mod setup. Now we have our firearm focused build. Into the mods, I have massive sanctification, but you don't need it. I just slot this to decrease my HP quicker. Our bread and butter here is increased sensory, 10-second duration, 9.8-second cooldown, and this is how we achieve our infinite ammo with any firearm we choose. Once again, we have walk a tightrope for the 30% increase to firearm attack at half health, shot focus for a 15% increase to firearm attack, skill extension and maximize duration for skill duration, MP conversion and nimble fingers, and a focus on mod unupgraded for the additional cooldown, with battle of stamina for a bit more duration and HP, with increased HP and shield conversion, making this build tanky enough for any Colossus fight. For our reactor, mounting and skill types do not matter, since we are not using any skills for damage, only firearms, so all we care about is the substats of cooldown and duration. 2 gold values would be preferred here, and we are using the annihilation set for another increase to firearm attack proportionate to HP loss, which clearly synergizes great with Gley. Substats, normally for most Descendants, we are looking for MP and shields on our substats, but Gley does not use MP and shields. So what I would have here is elemental resistances on each, but I do not have them all yet for this set. So for auxiliary power, we want HP and fire resist. For the sensor, HP recovery modifier chill resist. For the memory, defense and electric resist. And for the processor, display time for our scan and toxin resist. From here, we will cover the 2 main guns in our arsenal. Firstly, the newly buffed Executor. For maximum effectiveness, this gun does need its unique ability upgraded 4 times to achieve 100% crit rate. This is why the gun, paired with Gley and her infinite ammo, is so OP. Substats, we want weak point damage, firearm attack versus Colossus, and critical hit damage. We will not be building into any critical hit chance since we are getting to 100% with the unique ability. Into our mods, real life fighter, upon successfully attacking a weak point, firearm attack plus 10% for 5 seconds, stacks 10 times, but loses 2 stacks per failed weak point attack. Well, just don't miss. Shell up, there's some confusion for some about this. It does not add any bullets to the magazine, which would be useless on Gley. It adds pellets to each shot of the gun, which clearly is a damage increase. We have our 2 firearm attack mods, fire rate up, better concentration, and concentration priority for critical hit damage increase, weak point sight, and targeted vulnerability for weak point damage. And the last slot we are leaving uncatalyzed so we can swap elemental enhancement mods to match the Colossus we are fighting. Next, we have Greg's, still a great gun for Gley, but currently being outshined by the Executor. Another gun you want to have each unique ability upgraded 4 times for maximum effectiveness. Substats, firearm attack versus Colossus, weak point damage, and critical hit damage. Weak point damage is a big take here, since the weak point hits that proc the unique ability buff the unique ability. For the mods, with Gley, we are going for mental focus, our 2 firearm attack mods, fire rate up, weak point sight, weak point insight, and our critical hit chance and critical damage mods, better concentration, better insight, concentration priority, and have aiming for weak point damage. And that'll do it for what is my ultimate Gley build guide. This is by far the longest video I have done. I hope I helped with those just building Gley for the first time, or anyone looking to get her min-maxed. Any questions or suggestions about the builds, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe is very appreciated, and I look forward to bring continued content to the first Descendant. Thanks guys, peace.